Hello, everybody. All right, got a great question today from one of our professors, and I wanted to share this with everyone. It's about how to add additional time to students who have added time for quizzes and tests through disability support services. It's not super easy, but there's just a couple things that you need to do in order to make that happen. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we'll get right to it. All right, here we go. So here we are in Canvas, and we're looking at some of the quizzes for my performance in drugs class. We have an exam coming up next Wednesday, so I'm going to do a little example here. So we'll go to unnamed quiz, and I'm going to edit this. This is if you're creating your quiz or test, and I'm going to call this exam number 1. All right, we would put our questions in there. It's a graded quiz. We will put it under assignments. I always like to shuffle my answers. We are going to have a time limit for this of 90 minutes. I'm giving a little bit of extra time because it's outside of class. Normally, obviously, it's only 50 minutes for this class, but I'm giving a little extra time. However, we have students with disability support, and they need to have time and a half, okay? So allow multiple attempts, nope. This is one I always uncheck right here because this is a surefire way to get yourself a bunch of emails when students know immediately what question they got wrong, as opposed to going over, having the chance to explain the correct answers to them. So I always uncheck that one right there. Now, this is up to you if you want to do the lockdown browser or anything like that. Here's the one. So it's due next Wednesday, 23rd at midnight. Okay, that's done. You want to make sure that your available time, some professors like to only have the exam available. So, for example, you can take this during a regular scheduled class period. If you're teaching a face-to-face class that is now online and your class was 9 to 9:50 and you want the exam to be available from 9 to 9:50, do not make this available only from 9 to 9:50 because then you can't give additional time. So in that case, make it available for the longest duration a person would have it. What I do for mine is I say, okay, it's going to be available from 7 a.m. on Wednesday, and then I do that until midnight. That's just generally how I do it for my classes. Okay, so you haven't been able to select the time yet. All you said is the normal time a person will get is 90 minutes. So I'm going to save and publish that. Once you've saved and published it, here's my exam number 1. You're going to go into, and don't worry, this won't be available. Students can't take it yet. They'll see that it's published, but they won't have access to it because your available from time was at a date in the future. So they won't be able to get into it. Moderate the quiz. Then you select your student. Let's just take Allie, for example. She's been one of my undergrad helpers in our lab. We'll take her, and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom, and we'll go change extension for 1 selected students. However many students you have that have contacted disability support and get extra time, we're going to do that. Okay, do they get extra attempts? Usually with a quiz, no. Do they get extra time on every attempt? Yes, they get 50% extra time. So she's going to get another 45 minutes. Extra time on every attempt is 45. Don't put in what you want the total time. What's just the added time that they will get. Okay, and then you'll click save. You don't want to unlock it. You'd only do that if they had already taken the exam 1 time and you want to give them 1 extra try. Save there, and then the interesting thing, if you go back up, here's our student, and you can see they get an extra 45 minutes on every attempt. So you can go in, you'll be able to adjust that if you need to, but that's the way to go ahead and add additional time for individual people for quizzes, exams, that sort of thing if you need to. If you have questions on this or need something slightly different, feel free to send me an email.